Let her rip!
R.I.P., little buddy.
I'm showing how you can model rip track operations on your layout on Ron's Trains and Things right now. Hi, I'm Ron of Ron's Trains and Things, and if you'd like to see more model railroad tips, tools, and techniques, then be sure and subscribe below and click that little bell icon so you can catch future videos. Many of you have expressed an interest in knowing more about yard design and yard operations. Well, there are many facets to yard design and operations. They can vary with era, they can vary with railroad, and they can vary with location. And there are so many different aspects to both how you set up a yard and how you operate it that it can be a fascinating subject that can encompass entire model railroad layouts. Well, I want to talk to you about one of those facets of yard design and operation today, specifically RIP or repair in place track operations. I have a RIP track in North Yard on my layout, and I actually model repair operations in the active ongoing operations of the railroad, and I'm going to show you how I do that, and it may be something you want to incorporate into the yard on your layout as well. So let's go over to the layout at North Yard and we'll check it out. Repair in place, or RIP tracks, are typically auxiliary tracks within many yards that include one or more tracks designed as a place to make relatively minor repairs to rolling stock. Some of the types of repairs that are routinely done on RIP tracks include replacing worn wheel bearings, replacing worn brake shoes, replacing worn wheels and axles, replacing damaged couplers, repairing dragging equipment, repairing brake equipment, replacing leaking air hoses. The list goes on and on. Due to the variety of repairs made, RIP tracks will typically have a place for part storage and often have a covered or enclosed area where the work is done. A RIP track is like a universal industry because it can take almost any kind of car for repair. It can also receive loads of wheel sets and other parts and ship out scrap replaced parts. Here is an image of the RIP facility in North Yard in Saginaw, Texas. Notice the covered work area over the two repair tracks. Also note the parts yard where wheel sets and other large parts are stored, and the storage containers where other parts are kept for both the RIP facility and the adjacent locomotive servicing facility. I'm modeling this facility on my own layout, and I want to show you not only what it looks like, but also how it operates on the layout. Here is a train heading eastbound into Saginaw, not far from North Yard. As it enters this area, it passes a trackside warning device, or TWT. Messages from the TWT are modeled by drawing a card from a box on the fascia. Most of the cards indicate no defects have been detected, but this card indicates that the 8th car in the train has a hot bearing and needs to be set out for repair at North Yard. The warning card is replaced in the back of the box, and a red card is placed in the car card for the damaged car, indicating that it cannot proceed on its journey until repairs are completed. As the train eases through the yard limits, the train is broken short of the entrance to the arrival departure track for North Yard to allow access to the car that is in need of repair. The rest of the train, including the car with the defect, is pulled forward past the turnout that marks the entrance into the yard. By work rule, handling of the car entering the yard is done by the yard crew. A switcher rolls forward and couples to the car, which is then uncoupled from the train. The car is then pulled back into the arrival departure track. At this point, the train is free to back up, hook up again to the remainder of its cars beyond the switch, and when an air brake test is complete, the train crew can continue on its way. The yard crew now shoves the defective car forward onto the yard lead. then pulls it back up the thoroughfare track and shoves it into the rip track. There's no blue flag present on the rip track at this time, so the crew is free to shove the car into the repair shed, leaving the car in the rip facility, and its car card is then placed in the appropriate box, and the yard crew can continue doing its other assigned duties. A blue flag is placed on the track where the car is being repaired to ensure that crews know that, for safety's sake, no cars can be moved on that track while the flag is in place. It can only be serviced once the flag is removed by the same person who placed it. After repairs on the car are complete, the repair crew reports to the yard office that the repaired car is ready to be picked up from the rip track and continue on its journey. The crewman who placed the blue flag on the rip track removes it to allow the yard crew access to the repaired car. The red card is removed from the car's car card, indicating that the repairs are complete and the car may continue on its journey. The yard crew pulls the car from the rip track onto the thoroughfare track, then uses the ladder track to run around the car. The car is then pulled onto the yard lead and shoved up the yard ladder and into the appropriate classification track, where it will become part of a block of cars or an entire train that will be heading in the right direction for the car's final destination. The car card for the repaired car is placed in the appropriate box for the track where it's been classified, and the repair operation is now complete. Rip track operations can add a whole new dimension of operational interest and challenge to your operating scheme. You should really consider adding a rip track to your layout's operation plan. I know you'll enjoy the operations, and you'll be glad that you did. So that is one simple but effective way of modeling rip track operations on a model railroad layout. This may be a process that you want to try, or maybe you know of some other ways of modeling the operations of a repair-in-place track. If you've got another method that you'd like to share with us, tell me about it in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear how you do it on your layout. Well, if you enjoyed this video, here's a link to some more videos I know you'll love as well. You know, I really enjoy bringing you these videos every week, and I am committed to making them freely available and open on YouTube for anyone to be able to see and use and learn and grow in their model railroading endeavors. Well, if you find value in these videos, and you have the means and inclination to perhaps help keep this kind of content coming on YouTube, then I want to encourage you to check out my Patreon page in the description down below, where you can learn more about how you can help keep great model railroad content coming. Also in the description, you'll find links to my Amazon page and my Amazon Pick of the Week, as well as how you can connect with me on social media. I hope you'll check all of those out. Well, be sure and join me again next Tuesday as I'll be bringing you another great model railroad segment, and I look forward to seeing you then. Lizzie?